What's good, family? What's good? Hope everyone's having a blessed Sunday afternoon. Another episode of the Southern Baller Show. Glad to be here, man. Big Reg already in building. What's up, man? Big Reg hosts of Big Boy Talk. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and support this brother. Good content over there. Him and Jada6 and 86 Ghosts, aka Brandon. So y'all make sure y'all support this brother. But how's my panel doing, man? Shout out to the mighty LDBC, man. Coach 67 Sports TV, what's going on?
I'm blessed and highly favored this afternoon. How y'all gentlemen doing?
Can't complain about anything. JB, how you doing, man?
Hey, man. Blessed, to wake up this morning, and then we got another show. So let's get it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I hope Brother Brent can come on today. If he can't, he will give his feedback on it with his show. It's just me every Thursday. Y'all make sure y'all support the brother Brent Fox, man. Definitely, we gonna get into the Ben Roethlisberger and Joey Porter going in on Ben Roethlisberger and confirming what we already knew, but we not gonna talk about that first. We're gonna talk about, even though the Super Bowl was been a week ago, we still going to give our thoughts about it. Overall, what did y'all think about the Super Bowl? It's pretty much what everybody thought it would be. We all picked the Seattle Seahawks to win. We did not see the young quarterback Drake May doing well against that well-coached Mike McDonald Seattle Seahawks defense. And their offense is not too shabby as well, with Kenneth Walker III, then JSN, then Cooper Kupp. And Donald did what he was supposed to do. He was a serviceable quarterback and did what he was supposed to do to get the win. Kenneth Walker III being MVP. But Coach, what did you think about the game?
Like you said, it's what I thought it would be in terms of a game. It was first half. It was a defensive struggle, and in the second half, the Patriots got their first down, like a good ways into the second half, and they got it via penalty. So when you're struggling to pass the ball the way they did, I'm thinking in my mind, why don't you run the ball more? One, why don't you move the pocket in terms of some sprint passes, some rollouts? Why not run some screens, some shovel passes? But the thing about it is, when they tried to run the ball right at the gut, they had no luck against the Seahawks defense anyway. And they ran a toss play, and they got some decent yards off it. But for the most part, they just struggled no matter whether they was running the ball or passing the ball. It kind of reminds me of last year when the Chiefs played against the Eagles in the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs offensive line struggled against the Eagles defensive line the same way the Patriots offensive line struggled against the Seahawks, front. So at the end of the day, I knew that was going to be a problem for the Patriots. But I think they should have tried to, early in the game, they should have tried to run the ball more. And even if they didn't have no success, try to wear the Seahawks defense down a little bit. But not only that, from a passing standpoint, like I said, they should have been trying to move the pocket. They should have ran some screens, some draws, some shovel passes, some throwback screens. Because guess what? Just trying to drop straight back and throw the ball against the Seahawks, that was a recipe for them not to have any success, in which they did. It was a long time before they actually scored a touchdown. And I was saying in our group chat that, this game is over. And you was like, "Nah, hold up, coach, not so fast." And then they scored. Then the Seahawks scored again, and the Seahawks scored again. And I'm like, the game was over in my mind a long time before it actually ended, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the first half it was a decent defensive struggle, but as the game progressed, essentially earlier in the game, the Seahawks put the Patriots in a sleeper hole, front face lock or some type of chin lock or something. And as the game progressed, their grip it gradually got stronger and stronger, and they just kept tightening up around the Patriots' neck, and eventually they just put them to sleep. But in terms of exciting Super Bowl, I've seen many more Super Bowls that was far more exciting, far more competitive. Uh, some people talked about the halftime performance. I'm not. I don't dislike Bad Bunny, but I'm not a fan of his, so I didn't even watch it.
Right.
Uh, and overall, if I had to give it a grade, I'd probably say it was a D Super Bowl from the perspective of I just felt like the Seahawks were the strong favorite going into the game.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I definitely thought the Seattle Seahawks was going to win, and it went out as I thought it should. Notice I said should. You put emphasis on should, meaning that it's football. It could go either way. But the defense, which I knew they played like I knew they were capable of, especially their defensive line. They went after the young Drake May, sacking him 6 times. Shout out to Ernest Jones. He was getting around that corner. No, well, even though he didn't get a sack, he was very disruptive in the backfield. Um, the people who got the sack was Byron Murphy the second sacks was Byron Murphy the second with 2 sacks, and then Derek Hall with 2 sacks as well. Then Riley Mills, I believe he's a rookie. He got a sack, and then Uchenna Nwosu got a interception, and I believe he the one that ran it back for a touchdown, which sealed the fate of the Patriots. Now, a lot of Patriots, a lot of people were trying to say Will Campbell, which was their first round pick. Was it this year or last year? My bad, but I'm forgetting. Will Campbell, the
I
left
think it
tackle.
was this year. I
Yeah,
think then he played with a Argyle guard he got from LSU.
yes, he did. He did.
Okay.
Yeah, it was it was this past year. He was first round draft. It was his rookie year. He I ain't gonna lie, he played the worst that I've seen. He played his worst game. He was getting beat bad. People trying to say that he almost played as bad as Daniel Falele, which I ain't gonna go that far, but it was bad. It was bad. He was whiffing on a lot of blocks. Uh, he just I put it I I'll put it up to basically that was the best defensive line they played all year. And fellas, another question I'm gonna ask, and JB, I'm gonna get your thoughts on the game as well, and you can answer this too, and I'm gonna come back to you, Coach. A lot of people are trying to say that the reason why the Patriots made it this far made it to the Super Bowl because they had a very easy schedule, which I agree that the schedule was very easy. Um, but so did is that? Do you agree with that? JB, go ahead, and I want to get your thoughts on what you thought of the game. My bad if I was long-winded.
You good? Number one, ask the question about how I thought the Super Bowl went. Long story short, exactly how the brothers on the show we did a couple of weeks ago, how we predicted. We thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a blowout, and I was right.
Mm-hmm.
I just knew that the Patriots they were a good team, but not a Super Bowl team. A good team, but not a Super Bowl team. Um, I knew when we played them, when we wasn't at our best with Baltimore, all we had to do was run the ball. And you said it in the chat. When you spoke on it when we was watching the game. That all Seattle had to do was keep running the ball, and that defense was going to break. Because we seen it in Baltimore, which why Harbaugh and Monkey no longer has a job in Baltimore because they stopped doing that. But shout out to Seattle, great teams, keep running the ball when they have success. And Walker was able to, break a couple of runs and get his team in position to win and score. Seattle defense was as advertised. A Mike McDonald defense. We knew they was going to come with a lot of blitzing, a lot of disguises and coverage. Stunts. I think those linemen was discombobulated as far as they wasn't sure, who to block and what to look for because Mike McDonald, yes, and that guard they got, I forgot his name, was having issues too. So they were that interior lineman, their guards and primarily tackle, and Moses. Moses, our former Baltimore Raven, Morgan Moses was getting whipped too. He was having speeches. I heard Brother Sip Tally say he having speeches about to the younger players about getting together. Let's get together. He over there getting his ass whooped on the other side too. So it was just a whole lot of ass whoop. I mean that Seattle defensive line was just built for chaos, and it was more scheme wise than anything. And as I said, it just reminds me of that Baltimore Ravens team in 2023 when we had Jadeveon Clowney and Van Noy and all them, and they had like 10 sacks apiece that one year. Yeah. And Metabuke and all of them was giving offensive linemen hell. And it was a Mike McDonald defense. Had a lot of schemes and disguises. So I kind of knew that because of Mike McDonald. Now, as far as your question with the Patriots, I already told people and we have our issues with Cam Newton, with the HBCU stuff, but we're not gonna get into that. But Cam Newton was trying to tell everybody that Drake May is good, but he wasn't that good. And me as a UNC Tar Heel fan, I root for Drake May. I'm happy that he's success. I think he's a good player. He could be great. But even I was telling, my friends, my homie at work, hey man, you guys got probably the easiest, had the easiest division in one of the easiest divisions in football. Buffalo is good, but Buffalo is not, defense is not nothing that you are worried about. Fear. Yes. And the rest of that division is barbecue chicken, So, and then just look at their schedule. This is, somebody needs to be fired if you don't get to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
It's the reason why. Right. Yes, it was the reason why Sean McDermott got fired in Buffalo, because when you have a certain schedule, these owners and the fan base expects you to win. You didn't have Lamar, you didn't have anybody. You just had Drake May, you had Bo Nix, and I'll take, Josh Allen all day, and you couldn't get it done. So with that being said, I think that this was a year where I think defense is just coming back, and I do think that the Patriots defense is very good, but the offense was questionable
Yeah.
because both of the QBs in the playoffs, the CJ Stroud, all of the not both of them. It wasn't just Bo Nix and Drake and Darnold, but all of them except for Bradford, Josh Allen, and a couple that I'm missing was questionable. You wouldn't put your eggs in the basket as for quarterbacks that you say, hey, this is the uh, guy that's going to take me all the way. And Drake May and Sam Darnold was able to do that. Now, I think Seattle had a rougher go. They had to go through Seattle, not Seattle, but they had to go through the Rams.
Yeah.
And they had to go through Detroit.
Matthew Stafford was
They
balling
had,
this year. But go ahead.
they in Detroit was just one of those teams. They were up. They had a very good offense this year. They were up and down. This year though, they wasn't consistent. So it was a strange year of football. That's why I love it. It's not predictable.
Yeah, I don't know what Jeff Teague was talking about, and I'm glad that uh what's old boy the linebacker for the Colts. I'm blanking on the brother's
Zaire
name.
Franklin.
Zaire Franklin checked him, saying that the NFL was boring. If anything, what was it, a year before last? That was the most exciting
Bro,
league, including the players. That was an exciting year of basketball I've seen in years as far as NBA. So I don't know what he was talking about. The NFL, this past year, which I'm talking about, speaking to the 2025 year, was exciting because all the big dogs that was supposed to be there didn't make it. So you don't know who was going to win it.
right?
That's
The
exciting.
Pacers just came out of nowhere. Yeah. But I guess we go as far as the NBA. He talking shit about the NFL. I guess we all gonna wait till the playoffs because that's the only time I really watch the NBA because it ain't gonna be the NBA All Star game that happened yesterday because that was
today.
Yeah, but
it was
today. He was. What
the
happened
dunk
was the
contest
dunk contest.
and
You
all
talking
the other stuff.
about All-Star weekend?
Yeah.
All-Star weekend, right? So I don't know what he's talking about. And now, as far as NFL, with the Pro Bowl, and I understand that, but the best I watch pretty much all the NFL games that I can stomach. NBA, nobody really watch except for like the LDBC brothers,
The
the
diehard
NBA
basketball players.
diehard NBC brothers,
Basketball
78
players,
with the Bucks, and some other brothers. I'm charging to my head, not my heart. Blanking on the
Ticket
name.
TV.
Ticket TV, and what's the other brother? Mahari Nation with his Bulls. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I know pretty much who
Coach.
Follow the NBA. Coach.
67.
Yeah. But otherwise, when ain't nobody watching 80 games like that during the year, man.
Only the diehard basketball fan, NBA basketball fan. That's it.
Well, let me weigh in real quick.
Go ahead.
In regard to the Jeff Teague situation, you got to realize when you put a basketball guy against a football guy, he was on his platform. He was trying to be respectful, but him talking about crazy about the NFL players is
right.
That's crazy to me. And I like Jeff Teague. I think he's a great storyteller. But for him to be like putting the NFL on, and O'Ball was right. I mean, NFL has way more viewership than the NBA, and truthfully speaking, I mean, JB is right. A lot of people not gonna watch the NBA into the playoffs. I mean, of course, somebody like myself that was both, uh, a football and basketball coach. I like both sports equally. I probably, if I had to give it a split, I'd probably say I'm 51-49 in favor of football over basketball. But, the NFL is the most popular sport in this country, kind of bar none. So Jeff Teague is saying that from a basketball guy's perspective. And the reason why the NBA players make more money than NFL players, well, one, you got 15 players on the NBA roster compared to 55 players on the NFL roster. So in terms of dividing the money, you have a lot more slices to that pie as opposed to the NBA. And in addition to that, of course, NFL players have on helmets and NBA players don't. So from a visibility standpoint, NBA players are more recognizable. But in terms of popularity, man, he was right. It's not even a contest that the NFL is much more popular than NBA. You know what I'm saying? And he was talking about Steph Curry going to Carolina Panthers game, but somebody like a Tom Brady pull up to a Boston Celtics game, or Lamar Jackson pulled up to a game, or whoever, Patrick Mahomes pulled up to a game. I guarantee you that depending on who playing, they'll be the biggest star in the building. So at the end of the day, I felt like his perspective is skewed because he's an NBA guy.
Yeah,
And
he's biased. Yeah.
Yeah, and he played in the NBA.
All pro
Yeah.
NBA that player that.
Now, in regards to the Patriots offensive line, I don't think it's so much the fact that
All-Star, excuse me.
I don't think it's so much the fact that they played bad. It's more of an issue of it just was a bad matchup for them. And like JB was saying, let's be real. It's not like, on the AFC side of things, you didn't have the Kansas City Chiefs with a healthy Patrick Mahomes. You didn't have the Baltimore Ravens with a healthy Lamar Jackson. Of course, the Buffalo Bills, they defecated in the bed. So realistically,
right.
Realistically, you didn't have a whole lot of, high power teams on the AFC side. And like y'all was saying earlier, like the Seahawks had a much tougher goal of things. And in all actuality, the NFC Championship game was far more competitive than the Super Bowl itself. I mean, even if you look at the Broncos, they didn't even have Bo Nix. And I don't think of Bo Nix as an elite level NFL quarterback. I think he's good. And the same thing with Drake May. So my question is, it's probably going to be a while before you get somebody like a Patty Mahomes. He might not be healthy none this entire upcoming season. He might not really play until the year after that. But if the Ravens, get it together, and Lamar Jackson get it together, and Derrick Henry, could they emerge as the team to beat in the AFC? Could the Buffalo Bills get their stuff together? So I think even, a team like the Cincinnati Bengals, if they could ever fix the offensive line with Joe Burrow, or Herb, what the boy name for the Chargers, that they've been bragging about, Herbert, Justin Herbert, can they do something? So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to emerge in the AFC, because truthfully speaking, like the AFC side of the Super Bowl, it was extremely weak in my opinion. Like I was saying, I think the Patriots is a good playoff team. I don't think they really were built to really be in the Super Bowl yet, but can they take this experience of being in the Super Bowl and can they make them a better team? Because, in the past, you had instances where you got a team like the Patriots who, when Tom Brady and the Patriots won his first Super Bowl, I was not impressed with them as a team. But that experience, it propelled them, even though they were doing a lot of cheating, if you ask me, in terms of from a videography standpoint, in terms of stealing signals and that type of thing. But the point I'm trying to make is, when they won that first Super Bowl, it gave them experience and moving forward, it propelled them as a team. So, is that is the Seahawks going to be like head and shoulders team in the NFC with Sam Darnold and this experience, and can the Patriots take this experience and bottle it up and make them a better team moving forward? I think those are some interesting storylines going into next season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And I see y'all brothers in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. Anthony Bolton, aka Memphis man, Memphis Tiger man. He said salute, salute. Uh, my brother D Man Jr. Brother, what's good, family? What's good, man? LDBC brother coming in. I'm waiting for CC and Black to drop the last episode of the liquor store. They got me fiending on that.
Yeah, the season finale.
The season finale, man.
Yeah.
Big Red said it was supposed to be Josh Allen. Yeah, it was, but like like Cole said, they defecated in the bed. Anthony Boat said, "How about this? I watched the Super Bowl this year, but I didn't watch a single game of the NBA Finals." That's a good example. What JB was talking about and Coach was talking about. Yep. Brent Fox said, "Salute, brothers on the move listening today, man. Thank you, man, for supporting as always. But damn, I wanted to hear your opinion on what Joey Porter Senior said. Again, we gonna talk about it, and I know you gonna weigh in on It's Just Me on Thursday, and I can't wait to hear it." Anthony Bolton said also Jeff Teague was kind of upset with Zaire Franklin when he said that got a standing ovation at the Pacers game, but Teague didn't get the same applause when he was in the finals last year. Yeah. If you can't, that's okay, man. I would just want to hear. I know your obligations is more important, man. But no rush. But if you can, brother. You're always welcome.
Even hop on the panel. We just kind of want you to give a reaction to your point of view, your perspective.
Right.
In fact, I'm gonna hit you up behind the scenes.
Yes, sir. There you go, right there. We going right into it. We got the Steelers fan, only Steelers fan in the panel. Real fast, we gonna go ahead and go to that segment, because since we got Brent, he moving and shaking. Don't want to waste any of his time. So we saw the video. We all saw the video, and Joey Porter Sr. pretty much spilled the beans on Cam Hayward's YouTube channel. He pretty much said that he was surprised that Ben Roethlisberger and Debo had negative things to say about Mike Tomlin, and he pretty much said that Ben Roethlisberger know better, because he was Mike Tomlin was covering up a lot of bad things as far as character-wise. Ben Roethlisberger was doing behind closed doors. So what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, and you'll have to pardon the pun, been a problem. As far as like the locker room culture. If you closely follow the Steelers, like I have over the years, you'll know that Ben is Mr. Passive Aggressive, especially in his post-game reports after losses, and sometimes even wins. There was a famous quote where he actually threw one of his players under the bus by stating that, "Oh, well, yeah, if I guess if the correct route was run, that interception would have never happened. Like you didn't throw in the double coverage." So basically, what it was we lost against. I think we lost against Denver, and I think Antonio Brown was supposed to run underneath the defender, and he didn't. He tried to run over. He tried to round the route over him, so he could have a little bit more depth in the end zone where he would be able to catch the ball inside the end zone. So there was a miscommunication with that. And Ben, he's looking dead at the coverage. So, you can elect not to throw him the ball and throw it somewhere else. But Ben, he believes that he can thread the needle anywhere. He got Brett Favre syndrome sometimes. And then he throws a pick. Now, Coach Tomlin covered for him and famously said, well, he's a gunfighter. And when you're a gunfighter, sometimes you get shot. Okay. But Coach Tomlin did a lot of that for Ben. There are countless times where there have been like locker room skirmishes where Ben has been involved, like trashing his teammates, stuff like that. And it's not any secret. He refused to, and the example that Joey used was he was refusing to sign teammates. He was refusing to sign teammates' families, stuff for the Steelers. I'm memorabilia is what it is. I'm sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Memorabilia. He refused to do that for like his own teammates. Like it shouldn't be nothing for your own teammate who you do this with every day. Like, hey, I need you to sign this for my kid. And it shouldn't be no big deal. You just take a pen, you sign it, you go on about your day. You got to see this person every day. So when you tell this person no very early in your career, yeah, it's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouth. Pardon the pun. And while we're kind of still on this subject, there were a lot of people that were up in arms about Mike Vick actually joining the Steelers because of the dogfighting situation. This man had allegations harming people. And I didn't see any women getting upset saying that we're going to make sure that our husbands don't pay for the season tickets to go see this man. We're not going to show our support until, something is actually done about this situation regarding those allegations, which are very serious, very serious. And, people are mad because Mike Vick fought dogs. Like, that happens in our community. But, yeah, Ben has had like a checkered history, to say the very least.
Yeah, man, and I'm not just saying this because you Baltimore Ravens fan. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. Excuse me. I'm gonna take the AFC rival out of this conversation. We're just gonna talk about just human beings here and just what is right is right, what's wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
We've been hearing stuff about this dude. But it's been. I was wondering why he hasn't been getting heat. The heat has been on him. Because of that brother Mike Tomlin. Because he knew. Basically, Ben Roethlisberger. Hate to say it, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the league at that time. But he was just a piece of crap. Try not to cuss. He was a piece of crap as far as just a human being. Did you listen to the part where Joey Porter senior? I haven't put senior because the junior is playing with y'all.
Junior is our cornerback. Yeah.
Right. Senior. Who was it? Was it Jerome Bettis or who pretty much checked Ben Roethlisberger? Because he didn't want to sign an autograph.
Joey Porter.
Yeah, it was him. Yeah, okay. It was him.
It was Joey Porter.
He was using Jerome Bettis as an example where he asked,
Yes. Like Jerome was, they said Jerome was a very nice guy. If anybody needed anything from him, he'd stop what he was doing, tend to the fan, and then go on about his business.
Right, and he would just use that example of just night and day what type of person that Jerome Bettis was versus the type of person that Big Ben was. and I'm not
Ben,
surprised, man.
yeah, Ben actually has a show called Footballing with Ben Roethlisberger, where he does a podcast. He's even admitted on his show that he's an asshole. Um, he also said, hey, when I talk to new teammates or whatever, sometimes I'll tell them, hey, if you're looking for a friend, go to the Boys and Girls Club. I'm trying to win. Okay, all right. So yeah, you can only imagine with that type of kind of dialogue that he has with people that are playing with him, and then also putting their bodies on the line in some cases, blocking for his ass. That he would take a better tone than that with people. And, there's also the Mason Rudolph thing to where it was like, well, it's not up to me to try to teach him anything. He needs to learn from the quarterback coach. I'm not here to help him. Um, yeah, it's been all kinds of crap that he's done over the years that he's been there. But yeah, he's just not a quality person. There also been countless times where he's turned down autographs for kids, that are right in his face, unless it's some sort of media opportunity that actually makes him look good. Like if he has to go to a children's hospital and do stuff, then he'll do it then, but he'll probably do it for maybe 15 minutes or some crap like that.
That's crazy.
But he's not a very welcoming person, and for somebody like AB to try to take up for him, I found that hilarious. There have been like a lot of people that haven't said anything though. Le'Veon hadn't said anything. Who else was I thinking about? I think Martavius Bryant, who played receiver for him for a while, didn't say anything. Juju didn't say anything. As far as like taking up for him, as far as I know, and, Juju is a nice person in person, from what I understand. So he's not a quality person.
That's crazy,
but
man.
He does win games, so people are willing to overlook that. So,
yep.
To his credit,
That's
to his credit, he is a winner. But that does not mean that he has a winning personality.
Yeah, and I don't mean to bleed topics into each other, but we would just talk about the Ahmad Johnson situation versus the Nation and the WWE, aka formerly known as the WWF, and everybody was talking about how bad of a person Ahmad Johnson was. He was hard to get along with and everything. He just didn't get it. But you can count. You don't have enough fingers to count how many bad as far as character, how many bad people a lot of the white wrestlers were in person, but they were able to stay in the WWE or the wrestling business and have a career.
Most definitely.
And you don't hear a lot of these black wrestlers, saying that. But that was another show. You can go on my channel and for all the people that want all my wrestling fans who want to look into that, it's on the channel. But
y'all please check that out.
Yeah, man. But Brent, what I'm gonna ask you this, and you can stay on the panel, or if you gotta hop off it's okay. You welcome. But what did you think about James Harrison? Joey Porter response against James Harrison.
Man, okay, so just a little backstory for the audience here. A clip of the Debo and Joe show was actually sent like in our chat, and even then I was kind of like, man, James Harrison is like a bitter divorcee, man. That's all there is to it. You know, for whatever reason, he just does not feel like he has gotten his just due under Coach Tomlin. Now, Joey is absolutely correct. Coach Cowher cut his ass 3 times, okay? And he was a special teamer when he was actually on the roster. Because I think we had Jason Werlitz and Clark Higgins at the time. And I think Jason Gilden may have been on one of those years. So, I mean, our edge rusher or outside linebacker room was full anyway. So, yeah, James Harrison had to be a special teamer in order to actually make the squad. Joey is right about that. Because it was him and Clark Higgins that was actually RIP to Clark Higgins.
Rest in peace.
That was actually the 2 edge rushers, you know, and James Harrison didn't actually get on until Joey Porter got into a fight with the Cleveland Browns, I think. So yeah, that was that. Like, you know, if Joey hadn't have gotten kicked out of the game, there probably wouldn't have been a James Harrison. So, yeah, I mean, to be quite honest, he might actually owe Joey his career. But yeah, man, I don't know what it is, man. I still think it's probably the situation where he was let go, and that's why he went over to that other team. He knew what the hell he was doing. He knew that would really, really piss people off, and he just, you know, him being him, he just elected to do that, and that's why his ass went to the Super Bowl, got his expectations up, and got his ass kicked by the Eagles. So, you know, good for him. But yeah, he's still bitter about that situation on how he was actually let go. He you know, at one point, and Joey was right. I did watch the whole Cam Hayward show. Joey was actually right. I would say the high 90th percentile on things, as far as I know. Coach Tomlin did actually try to stretch his career out, okay? And then it just got to a point to where, you know, he just wasn't as effective as he once was, and we have to eventually move on. James wouldn't accept it. He just would not accept it. And we wound up drafting TJ. And then after that, we wound up drafting Bud, and that was pretty much all she wrote. After that, he, you know, he was obviously very upset about us picking up TJ, and you know, he would not come to meetings, and you know, he would say some pretty negative stuff about the coaching staff, including Coach Tomlin, obviously. You know, while he was not attending meetings, you know, he'd get mad. He'd try to protest the fines that he caught because he wouldn't go to meetings. All kinds of stuff, man.
Crazy.
Like, oh yeah, if you fine me, man, I'm gonna protest it with the NFL, and then you know, I got dirt on y'all, and this quote unquote dirt never ever surfaced for whatever reason. But yeah, James was just a bitter divorcee, man. Like, he had a great career by any standards. Like, it's not quite Hall of Fame, but he did have a great career. And you know, that is in large part due to Coach Tomlin being able to effectively scheme him in to the defense. So, you know, if anything, the man's ungrateful. You know,
And
he should know that. But
yeah,
James being James, nah.
man. And shout out to Jay Ball, man. Salute the family in chat. Appreciate you always supporting. One thing that Joey Porter Sr. pointed out that I think a lot, and you just mentioned it, Brent, and Coach was just talking about this during the Ahmad Johnson video we made. A lot of black people have smoke for each other, but and like JB said, white person or somebody from another race can humiliate you, call you a name, call you a racial slur, but you have forgiveness in your heart. But a brother step on your shoe or whatever the case may be, you ready to go to war, all F them for life.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
and what I feel, what Joey Porter Sr. pointed that out. You remember when he mentioned that, like you just said, Bill Cowher cut him 3 times?
Yeah, 3 times.
And he ain't say nothing about Bill Cowher. Nothing. But the brother Mike Tomlin, who put you on, that you ate with, is all the smoke.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
To me.
And the deeper perspective on that is, unfortunately, we strike out on people that we have close proximity to. So that black on black crime bullshit, that's an incomplete statement. You're gonna lash out whoever you have capacity to. The second thing and the most important thing is this. Unfortunately, we are conditioned in this society to where if we lash out at somebody that looks like us and we're black, they're not as severe of consequences as you would if you were if you lashed out at somebody that was white. If imagine James Harrison taking that same energy to Coach Bill Cowher and saying, you know what, man, this bastard cut me 3 times, and fuck his moon chin face looking ass, and I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this damn Neanderthal heathen, talking to me like I ain't shit, and fuck that motherfucker, man. I hope he don't go to the Hall of Fame, or something like that. Do you know how bad he would probably be lit up?
Oh man!
By like these mainstream media outlets. Oh, you're so classless, James. Oh, this is such shameful behavior. How dare you speak about Coach Cowher that way? Oh, you got cut 3 times because you just weren't good enough, and you need to face facts, buddy. They love saying that. Oh, well, you're in your feelings, and you need to face facts. They'll say that when that's convenient, but yeah, when he's hitting Coach Tomlin, it's like, well, yeah, Coach Tomlin ain't perfect, and he has his flaws, and hey, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. Oh my God, I love that. You never know what goes on behind closed doors. He might have a point. He might have a point. Yeah, that type of crap. That type of crap. It is. Yeah, it's definitely a double standard, because nobody that I've heard from has talked bad, and including Ben, has talked bad about Coach Cowher. I haven't heard it.
I haven't heard it either, and
I haven't heard it at all. And I know that there's some people that he probably, that he may have actually burned bridges with, and those people may even chalk it up as oh man, it was just business, man. I didn't even take that personal. Meanwhile, if Coach Tomlin has to let your ass go, AB, Man, 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 he wasn't no good coach no way, man. He wasn't no good coach no way, man. He could have got me the ball more, man. You know, he's a defensive dude, man. He ain't really understand. He ain't really understand. All right. In the meantime, your ass went on a 6-year run where you caught at least 100 damn passes. Nobody trying to hear that.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, but he never invited me to his house, though. All right. Okay. All right, AB.
It's
He's
crazy.
a great teammate, but never invited you to his house. And you the one saying something about it. You the one saying something about it. I ain't never been over Ben's house, man. He'll never show me love, man. All of a sudden now he's the greatest teammate in the world. And
Yeah, I think Vontez Burfict hit him too hard that one time. That's what I think.
yeah,
Real,
y'all might have got a hold of his ass too.
Yeah, that's true, man. But it's crazy. It's interesting to just sit back and watch who people will attack and who people will defend. It's interesting.
Absolutely, man.
But Brent, man, thank you for your input, man. I'm a go to the other brothers, man, to see what they thoughts on this, man. Coach, what's your thoughts on what senior Joey Porter Senior? All right, Brent, I appreciate you, man.
It's no new shocking revelation. We knew that Big Ben was a scumbag piece of trash, and that he has the complexion for the protection, because he another one. Had he been black, he probably would be in prison somewhere, serving a lengthy prison sentence. So at the end of the day, it's a huge double standard. And, Brother Brent did an excellent job pointing out how much flack and backlash that Michael Vick caught for dog fighting. And I've known individuals, that participate in dog fighting. But on the flip side, Big Ben SA'd a woman, and there was no backlash for it, So it's ironic how people like Big Ben can do what he did and get away with it. People like Josh Giddey could do what he did and get away with it. But if someone black does something not even to that degree of that same level of severity, like they are ostracized and so on and so forth. So at the end of the
Brent want to
day,
make a little correction. It was 2 women he
Big
essayed.
Ben is a scumbag piece of
Coach.
trash. I knew it. We all knew it. But Joey Porter just confirmed it.
Yeah, and it was 2 women that he essayed, Coach. Can you hear me?
I'm done, bro.
No, I was saying, I'm just speaking to you. Brent Fox was just saying it was 2, not just 1. It was 2 women.
You on mute, bro?
I'm talking. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, chat, can y'all hear me?
Oh, no, I was saying I was done.
Okay. No, I was talking. Okay, Jared, I can hear you. Coach, no, I was saying that Brent was saying it was 2 women that Big Ben essayed. I think the issue is on coaching. Yeah.
Well,
okay. Brent said he can hear me. Okay.
text coach to let him know that you responded to him, but he not answering.
Yeah.
But as far as that, bro, I been knew that Big Ben was on some BS, man.
Oh, he can hear me now.
Just being in the AFC North, I just kind of knew, and just hearing rumors and people who dealt with him personally, and behind the scenes, he wasn't a likable dude. So all this stuff coming out now isn't, it's not a surprise, but like you guys cooked on, and we've cooked on past shows, and the show we did on Friday, I believe, or Thursday. I mean Thursday and Friday. It's just like you said. It was sad how you see people, trash. You don't mind trashing some people, and then protecting and tiptoeing around other people, and trashing other people's reputation. But the people who reputation needs to be trashed is protected.
Yeah.
So
it's a shame.
And that's not just football. That's just life. That's just an everyday thing. That's basketball, professional wrestling, anything. Cool. If you work a 9-to-5 job, but yeah, man, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, man. And we just talked about it, but I'm a play for context. So the audience, maybe who haven't seen the interview, fair use YouTube, they can see what we're talking about, what everyone's talking about.
That we don't talk about.
I know.
Can y'all hear it?
Is crazy. Like out of any talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk Steeler business. Yeah. Because if we talking Steeler business, his ass is foul of all foul. Like that he's did is foul of all foul. He's not a good teammate. Won a Super Bowl with him, but the person, he's just not a good teammate. Like he knows that. Anybody in the Steeler building knows that. But we protected him because I've only won one Super Bowl, and that was my quarterback. So do I love my quarterback? Yeah, but is he a good person? No. The 7 dude that we don't talk about.
I know.
Is crazy. Like out of anybody should talk, he should never grab a microphone and really talk.
Well, there it is.
People have some nerve, man. People have some nerve. Anthony Bolton said, he said StreamYard was muted on my end. Okay. Anthony Bolton said, if Ben Roethlisberger was black, he would have been Byron Leftwich if he had multiple SA charges, meaning he would have been shamed to kick out the league. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we're confirming he's a piece of trash. Yeah, pretty much, man. It's not just drama going on with coaches after their departure. We're gonna go in on John Harbaugh as too. Shout out to my boy Nitro from the Wonderlick show. Y'all make sure he's my fellow Baltimore Raven content creator. He's doing his thing along with people like Hendo, Yolanda B, of course Sip to Tally,
Let's Break Hot Take,
of course Big Reg and the crew, 86 Goats, Jada 6, Ing Raven, and I know I'm missing some more, but yeah, charge to my head, not my heart. All y'all that does Baltimore Raven content. But he exposed something that was interesting. He exposed something that John Harbaugh did. The WonderCon, yes. Nitro and the WonderCon show, which I'm gonna show a clip of his. Fair use YouTube, and make sure y'all support, especially if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. But he exposed something that John Harbaugh did that has a lot of people eyes raised at him, which it was raised, but it confirmed some feelings that we already felt about him. It's crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, not the whole video, but just to make for context and make a point.
About you no more. That's what this was. That's what this is. That's what it's been. And now he's coming back, circling the wagons, talking to people from Baltimore. I miss you guys. Just want to give y'all one last hoorah. Get out of here.
Let me go back a little bit.
The spotlight off of you. Bring up Lamar Jackson, and it's gone. Like all of a sudden, no, we don't want to. Yeah, we don't.
Go back a little bit farther.
Into the episode of The Wonderkin Show. Today's first topic. I told y'all about John Harbaugh. Look, guys. So now, for everyone that was, because I know everyone's like, oh, we're past there now. No, we not. Because just like ever, the truth will find its way to the surface, right? And there's been so many lies that have been perpetuated throughout Baltimore media. And one of them that's been perpetuated, or a person that's been doing it a lot, is Mike Preston.
Yep.
And he's been talking like somebody feeding him information, but nobody knows who's doing it, right? And if this doesn't prove to you or give you an idea of who's been doing it, nothing will. So, mind you, this man is gone. John Harbaugh joins episode 25 of the Be More Football podcast with Baltimore Suns, Mike Preston and Jerry Coleman, presented by Rice Law. Oh, listen, if this doesn't make you think that this is where Preston's beginning his stuff, I don't know what to tell you. Or people from Harbaugh's circle, meaning his agent.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it right there. So why you're no longer with the Baltimore Ravens? You signed one of the biggest contracts as a coach for this year, this coming up year with the New York Giants. But you're getting on doing interviews with Mike Preston, one of the biggest coons in media, as far as on the Baltimore Ravens.
Lamar haters, yeah.
Yeah, Lamar haters, yeah. Why would you do that? And we've already, thanks to people, like WonderCon Show, Nitro, and Lunch Break Hot Take, Hendo, and Yolanda B, we've already had our eyes raised at John Harbaugh of where this information, what fibs and lies about him sleeping in practice or sleeping during meetings and up playing video games and everything, which Lamar came out and said that's far from it. He said he don't even play video games like that. I think he even went too far as say he don't even play video games at all like that. John Harbaugh is a good coach. Notice, put emphasis on the word good. But he wasn't this mastermind the media has been trying to paint him as.
You got that Ed Reed clipped up? Queued up? That Ed Reed?
I'm going to get it. And yeah, make sure y'all support the brother Nitro, man. He's doing his thing on here. He's one of the Baltimore Raven content creators that defending Lamar. He's not like other content creators that are just run with shit and then they believe because they don't, I'm gonna say it mostly has something to do with race, and a lot of people don't want to defend it or approach
address it,
but that's what it is. That's what it mostly is. But let's hear what Ed Reed has to say.
And this. You remember
that he was the right guy at the right time for this team, or was he?
I can honestly say no. You know, Coach Harbaugh came in like it's my way or the highway. We like, Coach, no. And I still feel that way. Some of the stuff he did and how he handled things, I just didn't agree. We had training camp practice, and he's mad because, you know, players are talking about the system and how he's doing things, and he know we talking. He know we in there frustrated. Coach called everybody up. You can imagine us being a team and working towards one common goal, and somebody saying, F you if you don't believe in this. What? I got to get out this huddle.
John.
Okay. So y'all remember, and you heard countless stories about what happened. About the last straw that broke the camel's back. It was the 2012 season. Cam Cameron. I keep bringing this story up, but a lot of people, especially the ones who are not familiar, not Baltimore Ravens fans,
they're not listening.
They're not listening. They're just running with the narrative and defending John Harbaugh. So, you just heard what Ed Reed said. So, a lot of the
and Anquan Boldin got the same story.
Yeah, he had. He went on. Who's was it the smoke?
It was All the Smoke podcast, not All the Smoke, but Mike Robinson and the Get Got podcast with Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. Yeah, thank you, JB. So Anquan Boldin, pretty much he was very classy and very professional with it, but we all knew what he was talking about. So all the OGs, Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed, Hote Nata. I know I'm all the veterans in there who was tired of the bullshit. Got together because at this point we was in danger of missing the playoffs, and everyone in that locker room knew they had the we had the talent to go far. Cam Cameron, which was John's pick as offensive coordinator, wasn't cutting it. Does this sound familiar? But anyway, all the OGs or the captains in that locker room got together and said, hey, this is not cutting it. We want to win now. And they went as far as, I think, speaking with the owner as well. So that forced John Harbaugh's hand. He fired Cam Cameron and got the brother, Jim Caldwell, in, who's one of the best offensive minds during that era. Still is, in my opinion. And we made a shuffle in the roster. Instead of having Jai Reed start, people like Jai Reed starting, we moved Bryant McKinney, which John Harbaugh didn't like. We moved him to left tackle. We got rid of Tom Zbikowski and started Bernard Pollard, which John did not like.
They almost came to blows.
Yeah. Even though Pollard is a coon, but he was a good run stopping safety. Good safety for us. Helped us win the Super Bowl. But anyway, we moved KO Kelechi Osemele from tackle, moved him inside the guard. And Marshall Yonder was at the right guard. Was he left guard or right guard? I forgot. He was the other guard. So right. because of the OGs who knew football, they pretty much could coach themselves. One of us could have been the coach. And that team would have been all right. That's how many great football minds, as far as coaching and knowing the game, was in that locker room. But if John would have kept having his way,
Like he got now with the Giants.
Yeah, we got with the Giants. The manipulation tactics. Did y'all ever hear the story of Daniel Brown? Daniel Brown was a 6'5" wide receiver that we had on the roster at one time. And matter of fact, let me see if I can bring that story up. Sometimes you got to show. I can show it. It's better than me explaining it. Daniel Brown. And I think it was either Big Reg or 86 Goats, who it was a year or two back. They sent me this. I think it was 86 Goats. But people acting like, this is, John Harbaugh ain't his character is not the best as what people is trying to make you believe. But just listen to this.
Weird way of trying to trigger players. He loves the reaction to get a reaction out of players. And me, I was like we've been talking about earlier, I was so like this. Like I don't ever get too high or too low, and it bothered him because he couldn't rattle me. It's my second year in Baltimore where I get moved.
It was Big Red.
Tight end. So I finished my first year receiver. I'm 218 pounds. Harbaugh calls me in his office on the exit meetings. Is like, hey, you're an exclusive rights free agent, which means we own your rights, and we're not going to re-sign you unless you agree to play tight end. I'm like, well, I got no other option, so of course I'll play tight end. And I was like, what do I need to weigh coming back? And they're like, I don't know, try 250. I'm like, that's 30 pounds. So I did it. I went to Florida and I trained. I came back. I was 254. The first day of OTA or first day of like off-season workouts, I walked in 254. I see him. He's like, Dan. He has a weird way of trying to trigger players.
It didn't show his reaction. Hold on, because there's a reaction once he came in first day of OTAs of when he came in at 254. I want to get his reaction. Y'all bear with me, chat. Yeah, I'm trying to find it, man.
Story. It's probably training camp of my second year. He kicked me out of practice and the special teams drill. So I'm playing the 5. The 5s are like the headhunters, right? Jerry Roethlisberger liked to put big 5s, big guys who can run at the 5. They usually got the wedge and stuff like that. At the time, you could have a 2-man wedge. So we were practicing. The wedge guys are holding a bag. And he was like, if you're playing the 5, he was like, fit it up. Just show me you know what you're doing, and then you're good. Everybody else full speed. So I'm playing the 5. I run down there. Just shoulder shrug the bat. Harbaugh loses his mind. Blows the whistle. He's like, he starts cursing me out. He's like, you're the softest player I've ever seen. You're never going to play in this league. You never play another down. He was like, you can't even hit a bag full speed. And I thought he was just kidding, right? He was like, get out of here. He was like, I don't want you in this drill anymore. I thought he was like, okay, let me get a reaction out of him. I literally line up, and I get back to go again. He blows the whistle to stop practice. Gets him second favorite.
Okay, that I need to find the one that finished that story, because I want y'all to get my point. What I'm trying to, because you notice he told the dude to. Y'all bear with me.
Gained about 50 pounds.
Yeah. I think I found it, y'all. Thank y'all for bearing me. I'm sorry, I should have been prepared, but this is kind of on the fly. Fair use YouTube. This is food, drinks, football. So yeah, you can see this video or subscribe if you like the content. Don't want to play any videos without plugging that stuff. I think that would be shitty. But go ahead. Here you go.
You play tight end. I'm like, well, I got no other option, so of course I'll play tight end. And I was like, what do I need to weigh coming back? And they're like, I don't know, try 250. I'm like, that's 30 pounds. So I did it. I went to Florida and I trained. I came back. I was 254. The first day of OTA or first day of like off-season workouts, I walked in 254. I see him. He's like, "Damn, you look good. You look big." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." He's like, "How much you weigh?" I'm like, 254. He's like, "Good. You playing wide receiver or tight end this year?" And I was like, "You guys told me tight end." And he was like, "We'll see." And I immediately start panicking because I'm like, I can't play wide receiver at 250 pounds. I'll die. Come the first game of the year, or first preseason game, we have a couple starting receivers who are out. They come up to me and they're like, "Damn, we don't want the young guys playing with Joe at receiver. We're playing receiver." Started the first whole half of the preseason game at 254 playing receiver, gassed. Then played the entire second half at tight end.
All while playing special teams. So.
Yes. And then my second favorite Harbaugh story is probably training camp of my second year, where I already played the entire first year. He kicked me out of practice in a special teams drill. So I'm playing the 5. You know, the 5s are like the headhunters, right? Jerry Roethlisberger liked to put big 5s, big guys who can run at the 5. They usually got the wedge and stuff like that. At the time, you could have a 2-man wedge. So we were practicing, and the wedge guys are holding a bag. And he was like, if you're playing the 5, he was like, fit it up. Just show me you know what you're doing, and then you're good. Everybody else full speed. So I'm playing the 5. I run down there. Just shoulder shrug the bat. Harbaugh loses his mind. Blows the whistle. He's like, he starts cursing me out. He's like, "You're the softest player I've ever seen. You're never going to play in this league. Never play another down." He was like, "You can't even hit a bag full speed." And I thought he was just kidding, right? He was like, "Get out of here." He was like, "I don't want you in this drill anymore." I thought he was like, "Okay, let me get a reaction out of him." I literally line up and I get back to go again. He blows the whistle to stop practice, gets in my face and was like, "I told you to get the F off the field. You're too soft to play here and you're never going to play again. So leave. Go sit by the water cooler." I literally walked over there with my tail between my legs, sat down by the water cooler, and I was like, "Coach, Coach Roethlisberger told the 5s, if you're going to do this, like do it." Before I could even finish, he said, "No, F off, man." And I just immediately, I was like, "I'm not going to win this." So I went and sat down. And then I went up to Coach Roethlisberger. I was like, "Listen, you need to talk to Coach Harbaugh about this. Like, I need you to have my back." And he did. So he explained it to him. I saw Harbaugh before a team meeting after practice. He pulls me aside. He said, "Hey, listen, I'm not going to apologize to you because you don't deserve an apology, but I shouldn't have said the F word," and then walked away.
You gotta love it. And
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. So how immature and you can't be you got to be in kind of, you dealing with grown men, so you got to have some type of authority about yourself. But
that's why Bernard Paulo was about to beat his ass.
Right. So y'all don't believe this man would lie and behind closed doors put false narratives to Mike Preston? After seeing that, I think he would.
And that was Trish what Ed Reed was saying. Ed Reed was saying, "Hey, man, let me get out this huddle before I beat his ass talking like that." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
he lied and told Daniel Brown to get you're going to move the tight end at 254 pounds. Put on 254 pounds as soon as he get to practice and he's that weight. On first day of OTAs, he's like, John is acting like he didn't tell him nothing.
30 pounds.
30 pounds.
254.
Yeah, 30 pounds, 254. John is acting like he didn't tell this dude anything.
He didn't want him on the roster.
That pretty much was, but that's no, man. That's your character, dude. Yeah, you've done shit like this before.
It sounds like he's extremely arrogant, narcissistic. And
Yes.
it sounds like overall he's a scumbag piece of trash. I mean, in fact, in that situation, you really couldn't apologize to that dude. It really speaks to your character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that kind of makes sense. He was getting, and you can see he was getting irritated when the fan base was saying, "Why the fuck are you starting these two dudes at interior guard?" And he was like, "I'm not changing this. No gonna be no." And then when motherfuckers walk around here talking about small, this is sabotage. It ain't because motherfuckers is like Lamar fan. It's like, look, bro, this is like some. I don't know what this is, but it's like this is malpractice. It's malpractice, and go ahead.
Extremely weird, JB. I mean, he's clearly the best player on your team. If anything, we talk about in the previous segment how Mike Tomlin pretty much bent over backwards and lied and covered up and protected Big Ben. But we got a black quarterback in this instance. And if anything, he tried to lie on him and throw him under the bus. It's insane the double standard in these two scenarios, bro.
They keep his job and he got fired anyway. So
Big Red said, I kept telling people when Mike Preston dropped that article that I felt it came from Harbs. Everybody was just like, nah, it's Preston making it up. Harbs is a coach. Is a scumbag. Yeah, as a coach, he's a scumbag. Yeah. And people defending him. Oh, he's a great coach. I'm trying to tell people, that's why I've been trying to tell people. Don't even give him that moniker as a good coach or even great. He's okay coach that because of his skin color and the Good Old Boy Network, he was able to get a job because, his brother played quarterback in the NFL and he was on
his father was a good coach.
Was a decent coach and was able to get on and but if there was a brother acting this way, man, he be head coach at Tupelo, Mississippi somewhere, community college. Not even that.
Not even that. He'd probably be a high school coach at best.
Yes, you ain't lying. So it's crazy, and people are just people don't get it, man.
And then for people come up here and say, well, Harbaugh was the one that gave Lamar a chance. Let me make a correction. It was Ozzie. That was Ozzie Newsome. Lamar was Ozzie Newsome's last pick. Point blank, period. And Ozzie was still in the building, so he was gonna make sure that Lamar at least got a chance. So, and that one thing about our organization, like Steve Bisciotti just did, if you see shit ain't going right, and Steve, and I'm not kissing Steve Bisciotti ass or anything. This is what I observed. He's not the type of boss that he's not the Jerry Jones. He's not going to be all up in. He's not going to babysit nobody. You got a job to do. He hired you. He gonna trust that you know what you do. But if that motherfucker got to come down from where he at to intervene, somebody getting fired. And I think that's what happened. That's what happened in 2012. But he knew we had a championship roster. We were losing games. And he was like, nah, John, you got to change some shit. Same thing with this year. Yeah, I know we got longevity and all that shit sound good. But how we get from 2023 going from an AFC championship having the best defense. Then last year we losing in the conference game. This year we're not making the playoff. Nah, something got to change. So you got bosses like that, and I think John Harbaugh was leaking that shit to keep his job because he knows Steve was getting irritated, and his partner in crime. Go ahead.
And I want you to hold that thought. Let's be real. Harbaugh was granted a damn good roster when he first bless you, whoever's sneezing. He was in 2008. He was blessed with a not horrible. If he would have went, let's be real. If he would have went to the Browns or somewhere like that, you ain't even heard of John Harbaugh. But because Brian Billick before him was able to put the roster together where the defense was amazing, even with the years we didn't make the playoffs, the defense could have been tweaked. It was the offense that was inconsistent.
Yeah,
somebody like John
Brian
Harbaugh
Billick
could work.
I don't mean to interject.
Come on, yeah.
Correct. And before I forget, people forget that Brian Billick has some elite defenses. Everybody keep talking about that 2000 defense. A better defense was probably that year, that 06, 07 year.
Mm-hmm.
When we had Bart Scott, Ray Lewis,
Trevor Price,
Terrell Suggs, we had Ed Reed, we had DeJuan Landry. You know what I'm saying? We had an old Steve McNair as our quarterback. And that was the year Steve McNair, he was injury prone, but we went 13-3 with him. And the reason why Brian Billick got fired is because again, this is funny. Ray Lewis got mad because we was playing the Colts, and instead of running, Jamal Lewis, and we had Mike Anderson that year as a backup, and instead of running the ball, we decided to throw it, and we didn't have the best passing offense under Brian, but we never had like that. You know what I'm saying? We had an okay, but Steve McNair was a good quarterback. Even at his 08, he showed that all we needed was a quarterback that can play. And I think the next year after that, he got hurt. And then we still had Kyle Boller. Brian was still trying to give Kyle Boller a second, third, fourth chance. And he never just panned out. In come Harbaugh. And, we drafted Joe Flacco, and we won games because Joe Flacco could play. And he had a strong arm. So people forget that even though Brian Billick got fired, Brian Billick he left that franchise in a good state defensively. You know what I'm saying? So sorry for going on the tangent.
No, you're right. And you good. And 86 Girl said Lamar got a chance because Steve had already told the newspaper that Harbaugh was done at the end of the year. So Harbaugh put Lamar in as the last stitch effort of hope and prayer. That's what I believe. That's what the Big Red just said, and that's what I believe. And y'all talked about it on y'all show, and I agree 100%. Especially as you just showed what type of person he is. Go ahead, Coach. I saw you come off mute.
Well, the thing about it is, it's amazing that Billick had such great defenses. Of course, I think I attributed to Ozzie Newsome in terms of the players he was picking and drafting.
Him too.
Of course.
But the thing about it is people realize before the greatest show on turf, like the Vikings had, in terms of numbers, they had the greatest offense in NFL history, and Billick was the offensive coordinator for that. So we talk about the great defenses that the Ravens had, but Billick is the offensive guy. So it's crazy how that worked out. And
Right.
truthfully speaking, I think, if it shows how incompetent to me that Harbaugh was from the perspective of, dude, you got an elite level quarterback, you got an elite level running back. Like, why are you putting these trash offensive linemen in? I mean, really, this next coach, hopefully he could get it right for y'all. But truthfully speaking, I think you got to keep Henry and Jackson healthy. And I think you really got to focus on your offensive line and your defense at this point.
Right. And one thing, and it's funny you said that Brian Billick was an offensive mind coach when he was in the Vikings. He was smart enough to let people like Mike Singletary, who's on our staff, until 2004.
Rex Ryan.
304, Rex Ryan. He was the coach for
the Jacksonville?
No, Cincinnati.
Oh, you talking about
who? Hugh Jackson?
Hugh Jackson.
Marvin Lewis.
Yeah, we had Marvin Lewis on the staff.
All right.
He was smart enough to have defensive minds around him. So when it comes to the drafting process, they were like, we would come to them and be like, what you think about? No, I want him on my roster. I don't want him in my secondary room. I don't want him on my linebacker room. Pick this person. And he listened. John Harbaugh did not listen. A la Zach Orr as defensive coordinator. Because he knew, if
Zach Orr was going to listen to him.
Yeah.
He was going to have control. Boy, you Giants fans, y'all going to see.
Yeah. Yeah, y'all going to see, man. But we went on. John Harbaugh is
Overrated.
coach and overrated versus Mike Tomlin, who was, in my opinion, one of the greatest football minds that ever coached. But he's getting dragged in the mud by his own former players. It's crazy.
He beat us with Duck Hodges, bro. I don't give a fuck what you say. They had nobody on that. That's the year they was terrible on defense. They couldn't stop a run, and he cooked up a scheme to beat us with Duck Hodges. You can't tell me nothing, bro. And I was scared. I said, bro,
we Baltimore Ravens fans saying this.
If they get Shador, bro, it's gonna be hell for the next 5 years. Now that was stupid on them, but I'm just saying, man. It's just gonna see what Mike McCarthy gonna do. To me, I know what Mike McCarthy is a Harbaugh clone, I guess. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see.
I'm not gonna do that to Mike McCarthy. No, he knows what he's doing. It's just that he needs a quarterback.
They don't have a quarterback,
right?
So I want to ask you all a question. What's this guy name that they got as the head coach now of the Ravens?
Mike Minter.
I mean, right. Jesse, he said Mike Minter.
Mike Minter is the safety. I keep doing it. I'm sorry. Jesse Minter, from what I'm understanding, he coached under the Harbaugh, and we had the famous show. I'm gonna call that show The Argument. But I think he's gonna be his own man. He already said it that verbally. Well, in the interview, everybody gonna say everything that they like to hear. It's the moon. It's the honeymoon process of anybody who had a job, or first got a job, or interviewing for the job. You saying anything, going over your resume that they want to hear. So it's the honeymoon phase as far as getting hired. So he's basically saying that he's his own man. You know what I'm saying? And some of the hires he made, I believe him. So we're gonna see. I like some of the hires he made. He brought in Anthony Weaver,
which he should have been our head coach.
As a defensive coordinator.
Anthony
should have been a head coach.
Yep.
So I like that. He brought some good offensive minds on the offensive side. So we'll see.
All right. What if it didn't go the way y'all wanted year one, and they got rid of him, and they tried to bring in a Mike Tomlin or Bill Belichick type of coach. How would y'all feel about that?
Mike Tomlin, yes.
Yes.
All right,
Mike Tomlin, yes, but heck, not.
So what you're saying is, since you're saying basically, Belichick one of y'all Tar Heels in the ground, y'all don't want to run the Tar Heels and the Ravens in the ground. That's what you're saying?
Right. Now, yeah, because that first year was damn, that was bad. I said, y'all got what's my boy?
Gio Lopez.
No. What's the coach that used to coach for Texas? What's my boy name? Y'all ran him out of North Carolina. Mac Brown. Y'all ran Mac Brown out of him just to hire Bill to turn us into, because I thought we was Valdosta State out there. I was like, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, I don't see him being. I don't see him being a college coach though.
I think he used to the pro, how things are done in the pro league.
Well, and see, that's the thing. I don't mean to cut you off, JB. We saw how that worked out with Herm Edwards, with Hugh Jackson at Grambling. Man, the NFL does not translate over to college, bro. It doesn't.
It don't.
Well, I'll say this. The fact that they added NIL does give an element of pro. Now that you're dealing with contracts and players getting paid, players be able to move around a little bit, just like the NFL. But other than that, I 100% agree with you. I think he was in over his head, even though, during the beginning of the Balder show, when we were going over the polls and, the football season, first was in its early stages, I knew we was going to suck because the athletic director said since we was running behind schedule, because after Mac Brown left, a lot of people started transferring because Mac Brown was fired, and they went somewhere else. So they needed to fill the roster. So they just hired a bunch of Alabama State and other schools like that on the team.
South Alabama, yeah, cool.
South Alabama, and so when we played TCU, we got kicked in the teeth. But I mean, I did see them get better. That defensive line looked better than our 8-win teams when Mac Brown was coaching. So he knows how to coach a defense, as far as I can see. But we didn't have the players. When we played a team that actually had, 4-star, 5 stars, and you can tell that was a talent gap. So I think this year it's going to be the year that I will determine if we make a break year, if we keep him or tell him he need to go back to the league or sit down somewhere.
Speaking of Belichick, and before I go into that, 86 Go said Tomlin does not get to pick his coordinators. From what I read, they are mostly promoted within. Yeah, that's another thing that a lot of people don't talk about. White Dwayne as offensive line coach. The White Dwayne. yeah. Shout out to Sip the Tally. Belichick will be fine, but only as a coach, no GM privileges. Okay.
I mean, he did have GM privileges with the Patriots, on the
He talking about when, if to your hypothetical question, if he was hired as a Raven.
Yeah. But that's the point I'm trying to make. He had GM privileges, in the latter stages of his career. But, I saw something recently on him because I had this family member that always talked about Belichick being the greatest NFL coach of all time and greatest defensive mastermind with the woo. And then Lawrence Taylor was like, people don't realize. He was like, Belichick wasn't a great defensive genius that people think he was. He was a special teams assistant his first year with the Giants. Right? And he said he really didn't become great until until Lawrence Taylor himself started to excel. He's one, and then two, people forget like that whole debacle with him taking the Jets head coaching job, and then he ended up going to the Browns, and he was trash with the Browns. Really, until Mo Lewis cracked Drew Bledsoe, like the Patriots was going to be a fiasco too. It just was the fact that once Bledsoe got hurt and Brady came through, things kind of turned around. So at the end of the day, had Bledsoe now got hurt, and Belichick might not be the guy we see him as right now.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, Bill Belichick. Yeah, he got one more year with me. As far as UNC. But speaking, I'm gonna ask you fellas this, and we're gonna wrap everything up. Did y'all agree with the Hall of Fame class for 2026? And I'm about to pull them up.
How about to say, tell me, because I don't even know who made it.
I'm about to tell you in just a moment. I had it up, but I erased it. So it's Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and Roger Craig.
Roger Craig, yes. Of course, Drew Brees. I'm a Saints fan.
All right.
Who else?
Larry Fitzgerald,
Of
Larry
course,
Legend.
Yeah, I agree with him. Who else?
Adam Vinatieri
Uh,
and Luke Kuechly.
I'm almost certain they had black linebackers that were more qualified to be first ballot Hall of Famers over Luke Kuechly, but that's another story. Vinatieri was a great kicker. Is he a Hall of Fame player? If you let kickers in the NFL Hall of Fame, don't get me wrong. I know he made a lot of game-winning kicks, but if that's the case, guess what? You got to add a whole lot more special teamers that had more of an impact on winning than Vinatieri did. So at the end of the day, I think it's a decent class.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Luke Kuechly, he should be in there, but not this year. I think
no, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think he deserving, but first ballot, man.
Yeah, man, you put him over Reggie Wayne and wait a minute, did Reggie Wayne get in? I thought he was already in, unless I'm tripping.
I think that was Marvin Harrison that got in. I don't think Reggie got in yet, unless we got it backwards.
Yeah, he's not in. Okay, just to make sure, I'm second guessing myself. So, and he says, "Go say hell no." The kicker should have waited. Yeah, I agree. The kicker should have waited. You got, man, come on, man. You got
Fred Taylor,
Fred Taylor, and Jimmy Smith. People like that.
And this is Fred Taylor running against like that 2000 defense. You know what I'm saying? And
Phil Simms.
Yep.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, even Phil Simms. I'm a little shaky on Phil Simms.
How about Jim Marshall?
Oh, Jim Marshall should be in there already. He should be in,
man.
bro.
Pat Swilling?
Hell yes. I mean, y'all do realize, like, when the Dawn Patrol was playing for the Saints, I mean, those four players pretty much carried not just the Saints defense, but the Saints whole team for one. And I think a couple of them years, one of them for sure, Pat Swilling was like the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. So yeah, Pat Swilling should be in.
Yeah, offensive lineman. I'm going down the list, fellas, of people that should be in that's not in. Steve Smith Sr., Joe Jacoby, offensive lineman that played for Washington. Jim Plunkett, L.C. Greenwood. I don't know about Clay Matthews. No, not the one we know, but the daddy of the Clay Matthews we know. Lester Hayes, Roger Craig just made it. Hines Ward, Ken Anderson. Didn't Torrey Holt make it? Oh, he another one.
Torrey Holt ain't in?
I don't know. I'm about to find out. He ain't in. That's wild, bro. He in the College Football Hall of Fame, not NFL. Torrey Holt is not in.
That's crazy.
Yep. He is not in. But y'all, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Let me know in the chat what you feel about the conversation we had, especially the Ben Roethlisberger and him, talking shit about Mike Tomlin, and when Mike Tomlin covered his ass, and then also who did the NFL miss? Who else do you think should be in the Hall of Fame? We want to hear what you think. But Coach, let everybody know what how they can meet you and see you.
You can catch me at Coach 67 Sports TV on all social media platforms. However, I'm primarily here on YouTube on my channel. Tomorrow I'm gonna have a special Lundigo edition of my live stream. So come through and check me out, you dig. Y'all have a blessed and phenomenal evening, blessed and phenomenal rest of your weekend. And happy Mardi Gras, happy Lundi Gras to everybody here in South Louisiana, you know what I'm saying?
Happy Mardi Gras, y'all be safe out there. And JB, I appreciate you for taking time out your schedule to chop it up with us, man. Appreciate you, man.
All right, man. Y'all have a great rest of your Sunday. See y'all next week.
And Brent Fox, appreciate you also for taking time to hop on. And Big Joe, I know you're gonna catch the replay. Appreciate you, brother, for your support. Man,
shout out to Old Hillside Bourbon Company.
Thank you. You beat me to what I was gonna say. Old Hillside Bourbon Company, black owned. Y'all make sure y'all support, okay? Big Chris, thank you, man. Appreciate you, 86 Goats. But y'all be blessed. This is another installment of the Southern Baller Show. Y'all be safe.